Hello everybody, it's Mark and let's get ready to take a bump with these AEW Full Gear 2023 predictions. It's going to be a very exciting show today. I'm recording this the day of Full Gear after just watching Collision. So all these feuds are fresh in my mind, so let's get down to who's going to win these matches for Full Gear. Let's start with the pre-show. These matches are more often than not gimmies, very easy to predict. First up, we have Eddie Kingston versus Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I think this is easy, Eddie Kingston. I think there's no way Jay Lethal is going to win this because he's one of those guys that you can throw against somebody for a high-profile match, but he can eat a loss, no problem. Next, we have MJF and Samoa Joe versus the Guns for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. So here's the thing. Samoa Joe relinquished the TV title so that he could focus on the World Championship. Do they want to give him the Tag Team Championship? That would completely go against everything that he relinquished the TV Championship for. I feel like he's just in this to turn on MJF. So I think this is the Guns, no problem. I think MJF is going to walk out without the Ring of Honor Tag Championships, and the Guns are going to go into Final Battle so that they can have the Tag Champs on that pay-per-view. Next, we have Claudio Castagnoli versus Buddy Matthews. Part of me wants to say this is a no contest because it looks like they're definitely planning a BCC House of Black feud. And I don't know if either of these guys could do with a loss. Maybe Buddy could do with a loss, and Claudio could take the dub. But it would be a shock win if Claudio ate a loss to Buddy. That would really build him up. I feel like Claudio might be able to take a loss. No, you know what? I'm going to give the win to Claudio, and this is going to start building a BCC House of Black feud. So next up, we have Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. I think this is easy Toni Storm. I don't think there's any way that Hikaru Shida is coming out with the title on this one. Toni Storm's gimmick is just so over, and they've been putting so much work into her gimmick, and she has kind of gotten nothing with her gimmick. She's kind of just been there, and she seems like a very transitionary champion. So 100% I'm going with Toni Storm for winning this match. All right, next up we have Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland with Ric Flair versus the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. This is definitely Sting, Darby, and Copeland. I don't think the Patriarchy could win, and they build to a Adam Copeland, Christian Cage TNT Championship match. I think this is 100% Copeland, Darby, and Sting to keep the feud going. Next, we have Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley for the AEW International Championship. So this one's tricky. Orange just got the title back, but Mox no-sold that Orange punch. If they're building a BCC House of Black feud, having the International Championship would be a good prize to put on in the feud. However, I'm going to get to a later match that could do that as well. So I feel like having Mox no-sell the Orange punch just gives Orange more of a reason to win. I feel like he's going to come out with the win on this. I mean, yeah, it's whether they want to do a course correction, get the title back on Mox after the concussion, or have Orange keep the title and keep, this new storyline going. I'm gonna say Orange wins. I'm gonna say Orange retains the championship. Considering what they've been building with Orange and this new thing with House of Black, I feel like Orange should be the one to retain the championship, and Mox should go into this feud without the championship. Plus, if Mox is built up as this unbeatable force, then I don't think there's any way you could have Malachi Black get over on Mox, which I feel like is going to be the ultimate goal. All right, next up we have Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland in a Texas death match. I think that because Swerve won the first match, and this very much seems like a 2 out of 3 kind of feud, Hangman Adam Page is going to get the win on this one. He's undefeated in Texas death matches, and I think they want to go to a third one. Now, where do you go after a Texas death match? I don't know. Maybe they'll do something balls to the walls, but I think Hangman's going to get the win and bring this to a third. Kind of give more time too, because I am sure whoever comes out of this feud is going for the World Championship, and they need more time with the World Championship so that MJF can defend against Jay White and then defend against whoever the devil is, or lose to whoever the devil is. So they need that feud to play out. So giving Hangman and Swerve more time with this feud helps with that, so that they can be next in line once the whole devil thing is done with. Next, we have the Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho versus the Young Bucks. And this is if the Golden Jets win, they get the Young Bucks World Tag Team Championship match, but if the Young Bucks win, the Golden Jets must disband as a team. This is definitely Golden Jets. They're definitely winning this. I don't think the Young Bucks, having the stipulation that the Young Bucks lose their title shot, that immediately means that the Golden Jets are going to win. There's no way the Golden Jets are kind of just going to split up right now, unless Chris Jericho betrays Kenny in the match, but he's very much face right now. There's no inkling of heel going on in him, so I definitely think that this is just going to be Golden Jets getting the win and Chris Jericho continuing his momentum killer streak. So 100%, this is Golden Jets. Plus, based on where my prediction's going to go later, I think they wouldn't want the Young Bucks to get this title shot so soon. So the Golden Jets, I think, are going to go against who's going to win the ladder match later on. All right, so next up we have Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Sky Blue for the TBS Championship. I think it's Julia Hart. Maybe they'll do something with Sky Blue and she'll actually turn out to be on Julia's side and it's all just been a ruse the whole time. But I think Julia, no matter what, is going to walk out with this. She's been so over. She's just been killer. She's been presented so much and so well. Chris is great, but I feel like Julia's presence is just so extraordinary. I don't think they would pass on giving her the championship and maybe push Statlander to the main event, to the women's main event, so that she can move on. You can put more women in the world title scene. All right, next up we have Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus La Facción Ingobernable versus FTR versus the Kings of the Black Throne in a ladder match for the World Tag Team Championship. Now, originally, I was confident Ricky Starks and Big Bill were going to retain here. However, based on how Collision went, you have FTR, you had Dax Harwood and Roosh in a crazy, 15-minute long match. They both bled. It was rough. Actually, I think just Dax bled and his blood got on Roosh, but they are not doing so hot going into this match. They made a big point that Roosh and Dax are not going to be 100%, so they are both eliminated. FTR and LFI are eliminated from contention. So that leaves Ricky Starks and Big Bill and Kings of the Black Throne. And then I watched Buddy Matthews versus Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli confronting Buddy. I think they're building as I've already mentioned, a BCC House of Black feud, having the tag titles on Kings of the Black Throne and having them go against maybe Mox and Claudio, or Claudio and Yuta, or Claudio and Danielson, whoever. I think that is how you build this. You have Buddy going into the Continental Tournament thing for the International Championship or whatever. This is where this is all building to. And it's going to be a very exciting feud, potentially with Malachi getting over on Mox or on Danielson, whoever, and having the tag titles on the line is very much necessary. Plus, on Collision, you had Kings of the Black Throne in a tag team match, a tune-up match, whereas FTR and LFI had their match. They're beat up. Ricky Starks and Big Bill got beat up in the aftermath of that match, while Kings of the Black Throne kind of came out on top in that whole brawl. Now, there is, go-home math where whoever stands tall doesn't really win. I don't think Kings of the Black Throne really stood tall. I just think that they got beat up the least. And that the story seems to be, wear and tear on these guys is going to affect the match. Is going to affect the Fatal 4-Way. My pick 100% is Kings of the Black Throne get the tag team titles. All right, next up, we have MJF versus Jay White for the AEW World Championship, the main event. I was really hoping Jay White would win just because I want him with the World Championship. He'd be an excellent World Champion. I'm a big fan of Jay White, but I'm also a big fan of MJF. But then I started thinking about the Devil. And you all saw my previous video on who the Devil is. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out because it's a theory that hasn't been pointed out yet by most of the internet. So definitely go watch it. So Jay White, I wanted him to win. I thought he was going to win. I thought there was potential. But, thinking about the Devil situation, I feel like you don't have an MJF Devil feud unless the title's on the line. And, how do you have the Devil come into play with this match without MJF winning, Because the Devil's not going to, let Jay White win unless the Devil's... There's no one who the Devil could be where they would want Jay White to win because, they attack Jay White immediately. So I think MJF comes out on top of the match, is attacked by the Devil afterwards. The Devil's revealed to be somebody. The true main event is going to be the reveal of the Devil. Now, I know I previously theorized that it would be Shawn Spears. As much as that would be a great story to circle back to, MJF versus Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears has taken up the mantle of the Pinnacle. You push him into the main event scene. He's a very capable person to be in that scene. But the buildup just hasn't been there for him as an individual, for the crowd to believe that he would be in that spot. Obviously, it's going to be somebody big, whether it's Adam Cole, it's not CM Punk. Real life takes over kayfabe, and real life has been very strong here. It's not CM Punk. Whoever it's going to be massive. The title's going to be on the line between MJF and the Devil, so MJF retains the title for this, and we'll go into whatever the next pay-per-view is. I think the next pay-per-view is the one in New York, right? So you would have MJF be champion for the New York pay-per-view. Because he always eats up those New York crowds. So these are my predictions for AEW Full Gear, and maybe I'll do a follow-up to these predictions. See how I did. See how you all did. Let me know your predictions below. What do you think of the 4-way tag team ladder match? Do you think it'll be Kings of the Black Throne? Do you think Ricky and Big Bill are going to retain? Who do you think the Devil is? I know a lot of you commented on my previous video your thoughts on the Devil. A lot of people said Adam Cole and CM Punk, mainly CM Punk, which is shocking. And, who do you think between Orange and Jon Moxley? That's an interesting feud that I think is going to be a divisive on who people think are going to win. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. And enjoy Full Gear.